about budgeting, and we passed the Wellstone Mental Health Parity Act. But as you all know, it was simply a down payment on change. There is so much more that needs to be done. For starters, we need a new president. With the home values declining, with what we're seeing going on in Iraq, the never-ending war, commitment from the candidate on the other side that will be there for 100 years, and we've got the education system which no one's working on. It's just time after time after time. Infrastructure, bridges crumbling, you name it. We need a new president. We need a new third district congressperson. But I can tell you this. We need a change in the United States Senate. Yes, we sent me, but you know what our majority is? We have 51 votes. And you've heard about no one, I think before, no one knew about all these convoluted rules in the United States Senate, but now a lot of people do, and that's the filibuster rule. And to beat that rule, you need 60 votes. And I want to give you some sense of what this really means. As of yesterday, Republicans in the United States Senate filibustered 72 bills this past session. Their filibusters left us 5 votes short of providing prescription drugs for seniors. Now, how are we going to pay up those 5 votes? Well, I'll start with one, Minnesota. New Hampshire, where Gene Shaheen is way ahead of Johnson Nunu. We have open seats in New Mexico, where Tom Udall is well ahead. We're ahead in Colorado with Mark Udall, and we are way ahead in Virginia with Mark Warner. 5 votes, 5 seats. That's what we're going to do, because I can tell you no matter who our new president is, we are not going to be able to get these bills passed unless we add at least 5 or 6 seats to the United States Senate. That's why we're calling it the surge to 60. We have 4 votes short of overriding the president's veto on stem cell research. 4 votes short. Iraq War. You've seen what happened time and time again. I support Senator Feingold's time limits to bring our combat to a close. Time again, we're thwarted by the other side. But even when we tried to get Jim West's amendment through, what this amendment said was, at least when our troops are serving over there, and they have been asked to serve time much longer than they're supposed to. They go 3 months or 6 months, then 1 year. At least put some home, which is Army policy, and rest for the same amount of time they serve. Well, how many votes are we short? 3 votes short of passing Jim West's amendment. 3 votes short. Surge to 60, we have had 3 votes, we passed that amendment. 2 votes short of passing the Senate's economic stimulus plan, which included not only the short-term stimulus, but the longer-term hope, with extensions of wind credits, tax credits, with extensions for unemployment insurance and other things we need. And how many votes are we short of passing that comprehensive energy plan that took all the oil giveaways and put them into renewables, put them into wind, put them into solar, invested in the farmers and the workers in the Midwest instead of the oil cartels in the Mideast? We were 2 votes short. That's what this election is about. So I know everyone's focused on the presidential race, but I do want you to remember the United States Senate, because if things get closer and closer and closer, and we want change in this country, we're going to have to change the United States Senate. You know, when you elected me last year, I got in a car with my family, and we headed out in our Saturn to Washington. And I had in the back seat the shower curtain from 1985 I found, and some of the dishes from college. And we drove across this country. And first of all, we went across Ohio, where my friend Sherrod Brown was elected. And we went across Pennsylvania, where Bob Casey was elected. We went across Maryland, where Ben Carson was elected. We ended up in Virginia, where Jim Webb was elected. And the change we saw in this last election was not just we won that election 1% of the vote. We won that election by doing 29 parades, by doing 85 pancake breakfasts, and by putting up 3,000 lawn signs. That's how we did it. It's about energy that I feel in this room, and I want you to put it into these campaigns. It doesn't end at the door knocking, and at parades, you got to get out there with those blues, and I remember seeing Maria when no one thought she was going to win at that Eden Prairie 4th of July blues, and we were outnumbering the Republicans. It was about 100 degrees, but 3-1, and you knew change was in the air. So that's what I asked you to do, because we are at a moment in history that's like no other. I was in Greenland, I saw those icebergs melting and the spigots of water coming out where they've lost the size of Texas and Arizona combined in the Greenland ice sheet. I was in Iraq this year and saw firsthand our troops who've been asked to serve 3 months, 6 months, a year. They didn't complain to me about one thing. They just asked me to call their moms and dads when I got home. And when I got home, I talked to over 50 moms. And I heard stories that were very different than what the troops would tell me about kids waiting for their parents to come home, about jobs lost, about families broken. This is our moment in time. And this is about all of you. And this is about us. This is our seat to win in the 3rd District. We have the fine candidates that can do it. This is our Senate seat to win. This is our year to win the presidential election.